The moment you wake up, before your body even moves, before your eyes even fully open, something extraordinary begins to happen. Your brain starts to rebuild the world you lived yesterday. The same thoughts you carried before sleeping begin to replay like a familiar song. And without realizing it, you are already stepping into the emotional vibration of your past. You remember what you have to do, the people you need to talk to, the problems waiting for you. And instantly your mind signals your body to produce the same chemicals it did the day before. That's how your past sneaks into your present, disguised as your morning routine. You're not waking up to a new day, you're waking up to an old memory. That is why, no matter how much you want to change, your life often feels repetitive. Because the energy you wake up with is the same energy that builds the rest of your day. Now imagine what would happen if you paused before allowing your body to automatically recall who you were yesterday. Imagine if, in that sacred stillness between sleep and wakefulness, you decided to choose who you want to become. Most people don't realize how powerful that moment truly is. When you first wake up, your brain operates in alpha and theta waves, the same frequencies you experience during deep meditation and creation. That's the doorway between your conscious and subconscious mind, the bridge where thoughts can become things. If you rush past it, you miss your chance to plant the seeds of a new reality. But if you stay there, aware and intentional, you can reprogram the blueprint of your life. You can begin the process of breaking the habit of being the old you when you first open your eyes. Your body is waiting for a command. It's asking, who are we going to be today? And most people unconsciously answer with stress, frustration, or fear. They reach for their phones, scroll through emails or social media, and instantly invite the world's chaos into their nervous system. That single act conditions the body to stay in survival mode. Your body becomes chemically addicted to urgency, comparison, and worry. You start your day as a reactor, not a creator. But when you decide to take back those first few minutes, you interrupt the old neurological pattern. You breathe, you become aware of your thoughts, and you shift your energy from reaction to creation. That's when true transformation begins. Think of your morning like a reset button for your identity. Every time you wake up, you have two choices: to repeat the past or to design the future. Most people don't realize that their identity isn't fixed hits, just memorized. It's a pattern of thoughts and feelings that have been practiced so long that the body learned them better than the mind. The moment you become conscious of that, you hold the power to change it. When you choose to start your morning by thinking differently, breathing differently, and feeling differently, you tell your body a new story. You're saying we're not that old version anymore. We are someone new. And because the body doesn't know the difference between a memory and a deeply felt imagination, it begins to believe you. This is why your morning is sacred. It's not just about motivation. It's about energetics. The energy you awaken with sets the tone for every decision, every word, every action that follows. If you start your day with gratitude, you release chemicals that open your heart and align you with higher frequencies. If you start your day in stress, you produce cortisol, narrowing your focus and preparing for survival instead of creation. Your morning determines which part of your brain takes control, the conscious visionary or the unconscious survivor. And whichever you feed first wins the day. So when you wake up tomorrow, instead of reaching for your phone, reach for your breath. Sit in stillness and observe the quiet space before your mind floods with noise. Ask yourself, who do I want to be today? Then feel it. Don't just think it, feel it in your heart until your body starts to recognize it. If you want to feel confident, feel the energy of confidence in your body. If you want peace, breathe peace until your cells remember it. Your body must emotionally experience the future before it can physically live it. That's how you break the habit of yesterday. You stop rehearsing who you were and start rehearsing who you're becoming. When you wake up consciously, you are no longer a prisoner of your past emotions. You are no longer bound by the automatic patterns that once defined you. You step into the awareness that your mornings are not a routine, they are a rebirth. Every sunrise is a new timeline waiting to be activated. Every breath is a chance to install new programming into your subconscious mind. Every choice in those first few moments carries creative energy powerful enough to shift the trajectory of your day, your week, even your life. The energy of awakening is more than just getting out of bed. It's about awakening the observer within you, the part that knows it can choose again, the part that can witness old emotions and decide to no longer fuel them. When you practice this awareness each morning, your old identity begins to dissolve. Your nervous system relaxes, your mind expands, and your energy starts to align with higher possibilities. You begin to notice new synchronicities, subtle moments of alignment that confirm your shift is real. Because when you wake up differently, life responds differently. The outer world bends to match your inner frequency. And all of that begins with how you meet yourself in the first light of day every morning when you wake up. Your mind is like an open canvas, untouched, and waiting for you to paint it with energy, thought, and purpose. Yet for most people, the very first thoughts they think are not new ones. They are recycled fragments of yesterday's worries, plans, and responsibilities. Those thoughts immediately produce emotions that match their history: anxiety, doubt, impatience, and in that very instant, they unconsciously instruct their body to relive the same day as before. Without awareness, their intention is already set, not by choice, but by habit. That is how countless mornings slip by under the radar, carrying people further away from their dreams while convincing them that they are simply living life. But what if, instead of falling into the automatic cycle of thought and feeling, you could begin your morning by tuning into a higher frequency, the frequency of intention, where your energy commands your reality before the world does. Intention is not merely a thought or a goal. It is an energetic declaration. It is the inner vibration that says, "This is who I am, and this is how I choose to experience this day." When you consciously decide what emotion, energy, and purpose you will embody before anything external happens, you take back control of your reality. You begin to live deliberately instead of reactively. Every thought has a frequency, and every emotion has a magnetic signature. The universe does not respond to your words. It responds to your vibration. So when you wake up and choose to align your energy with calm, focus, joy, or gratitude, you're sending out a signal in that. Signal begins to reorganize matter, and events in your favor, the most transformative mornings begin. Not with movement, but with stillness. Stillness that allows you to sense your own energy before the noise of the day claims it. When you sit in silence, your brain and heart begin to synchronize. The chaotic brainwaves of beta start to slow down, and your heart's rhythm becomes coherent. This is where intention takes form. In this state, when you clearly visualize your desired emotional state and attach gratitude to it, your entire nervous system begins to memorize that energy. You are no longer reacting to the world. You are programming your body to meet the world from a place of power. The energy you broadcast becomes the filter through which your day unfolds. Think of your intention like a frequency broadcast tower. Every time you feel gratitude, confidence, or peace, you are emitting electromagnetic signals that attract experiences that match those feelings. It's not mystical, it's physiological. Your body is both an electrical and magnetic field generator. The electrical part is your thought. The magnetic part is your feeling. Together, they create a frequency that interacts with everything around you. When you wake up in the morning and align both, you are literally scripting your day energetically before it even begins. That is why some days seem to flow effortlessly, while others feel like resistance because you're internal. Broadcast determines your external reception, setting your intention. Each morning is like tuning your mind to a specific channel. If you wake up in frustration, you'll start to notice more situations that reinforce frustration. If you wake up in gratitude, you'll naturally encounter moments that reinforce gratitude. It's not coincidence. It's coherence. The universe mirrors the dominant frequency of your consciousness. This is why it's not enough to just think positive. You must feel your intention. The body must emotionally experience what the mind is imagining so deeply that it begins to believe it's real. Once your body feels it, your subconscious accepts it. Your day begins to unfold according to that new program. Every morning is a frequency reset. It's a chance to shift from autopilot to alignment. It's where you decide the tone of your energy, not based on yesterday's emotions, but on tomorrow's vision. You begin to realize that life doesn't just happen to you. It happens through you, shaped by the frequency you choose to carry from the very first thought of the day. Every great transformation begins with repetition. Every new reality begins with a ritual of alignment is all about training your body to emotionally experience a new reality so completely that it starts to believe it's already true. Every morning when you sit in stillness, you are standing at the threshold between the old self and the new self. The old self is made of familiar emotions, doubt, stress, guilt, and fear. It is comfortable because it is known, but it keeps you anchored to your past. The new self exists as potential confident, peaceful, successful, free, but it can only materialize when your body begins to feel what your mind imagines. The purpose of a morning ritual is to bridge that gap. You begin by quieting your analytical mind, slowing your breath, and turning your attention inward. As you shift into a calm state, your brain waves move from high beta, the survival state, to alpha and theta, where the subconscious becomes impressionable. This is where you can begin to program a new emotional identity. Visualization is the language of the brain, but emotion is the language of the body. When you combine both, you create coherence between mind and heart. This is why just thinking about your goals is never enough. You can visualize abundance, health, or love all you want. But if your body still feels lack, pain, or loneliness, it will continue to send out the frequency of your past. The body must feel the future before it arrives. That's what the ritual of alignment teaches, to feel your vision as if it's already happening. When you close your eyes and see yourself living the life you desires, peaking confidently, moving freely, surrounded by joy, and then generate the emotion of gratitude or excitement for it as though it's real. Your brain begins to fire new neural connections. Those circuits start wiring together into a pattern that mirrors your imagined future. The more consistently you practice this, the more the body begins to learn the feeling of that future state. And because the body doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's vividly imagined, it accepts that new state as familiar. It becomes the new normal. That's when alignment begins to take hold, not as an idea, but as a new frequency running through your entire being. You start the day carrying the energy of your future, rather than the emotions of your past. You're no longer trying to become that version of yourself. You're rehearsing it. Each morning, as you sit in your ritual, your job is to create coherent, to make sure your thoughts, feelings, and actions are not contradicting each other. If your mind says, "I am abundant," but your body feels scarcity, there is dissonance and energy is wasted. But when your body begins to feel abundance, your heart expands, your breath deepens, and your mind quiets. This is the frequency where creation happens. You start radiating a signal of alignment that goes beyond your physical body. It influences the electromagnetic field around you, drawing experiences that resonate with that vibration. You are no longer waiting for success to feel powerful. You feel powerful, and success begins to find you. The ritual of alignment is not about time. It's about consistency. 5 minutes of deep coherence is more powerful than an hour of distracted thought. The more you teach your body the language of the future, the less it will crave the emotions of the past. The chemicals of stress, anger, and worry lose their addictive pull when the body experiences the chemistry of peace and gratitude more often. This is the internal training of transformation. You are conditioning your nervous system to expect good things. You are wiring your brain to notice opportunities instead of problems. You are turning your morning into a laboratory of manifestation. And as you repeat this daily, something profound begins to happen. The emotions you used to chase start showing up on their own. You begin to feel joy without a reason, gratitude without an event, peace without control. That's when you know the alignment is working. You've trained your mind and body to live in the energy of the future rather than the memory of the past. Life responds by mirroring that energy back to you through synchronicities, people, and circumstances that match your new vibration. The inner work becomes the outer reflection. This ritual is how you move from knowing to being. At first, it's intellectual. You remind yourself to think differently, to visualize, to feel. Then it becomes emotionally. Begin to sense real shifts in your body. Finally, it becomes automatic. You wake up already aligned, because your body now knows what it feels like to live as your future self. This is mastery. It's the invisible work that creates a visible change. It's not about control. It's about surrendering to the elevated emotions of your desired reality until they become second nature. Every time you practice the ritual of alignment, you are rehearsing the energy of your new life. And through that repetition, you recondition your body to believe what your mind has known all along, that your reality begins not in the world outside, but in the invisible space within you. Every single morning, the moment you open your eyes, the universe presents you with a choice. The choice to live as the old self that reacts to the world, or the new self that creates it. Most people never realize this power. They wake up and instantly step into the current of their past. They check their phone. Remember what went wrong yesterday? Think about what they have to fix today, and without awareness, their energy collapses into survival. Their thoughts become predictable, their emotions repetitive, and their actions automatic. This is how most people live, repeating the same day again and again, hoping for a different outcome. But when you understand that each morning is not a continuation of yesterday, but a quantum possibility field, an infinite space where you're next, reality can be designed, everything changes. The quantum morning is about stepping beyond reaction and into conscious creation. The word quantum means potential, a field of infinite possibilities waiting to be observed, chosen, and embodied. When you wake up in a reactive state, your attention is consumed by known problems, familiar emotions, and predictable patterns. You are observing only the past, and by doing so, you collapse the infinite field of potential into the same limited reality. But when you wake up and choose to create, you shift your focus inward. You stop looking at what is and start feeling what could be. That inner shift changes the frequency of your energy field. You begin to vibrate at the level of the future you desire instead of the past you remember. Creation starts with awareness. The moment you notice your mind wanting to rush, to check, to worry, you pause and reclaim your power. You take a deep breath and remind yourself that your energy is your currency. Whatever you spend it on expands. If you spend your morning energy reacting to circumstances, you are investing in limitation. But if you spend it envisioning, feeling, and embodying your future, you are investing in creation. The quantum field responds not to effort, but to coherence. When your heart and mind are in harmony, when your emotions and thoughts are aligned, your energy becomes magnetic. It begins to draw experiences, people, and opportunities that match your new frequency. In the quantum morning, your task is simple yet profound: to decide who you want to be before the world tells you who you are. Before you check your phone, before you open your email, before you scroll through headlines, you connect with your higher self. You remind yourself that you are not your problems, not your past, not your thoughts. You are consciousness, energy, awareness, the observer, and the creator. When you anchor into that identity, you stop reacting to life and start generating it. Your emotions are no longer dictated by circumstances. They are chosen states that broadcast your intention into the field of infinite possibility. Every reaction drains power. Every creation generates power. When you wake up reacting, you hand over control to the external world. But when you wake up creating, you draw control back to your inner world. The moment you decide to feel gratitude before anything happens, you open a quantum door. You begin to align your vibration with a future that already exists in potential. Gratitude is the energy of completion, the signal to the universe that what you desire is already on its way. When you embody that emotion in the morning, your body starts to believe your vision. It stops living in lack and starts living in fulfillment. That emotional shift alters your electromagnetic field, making you a living match for your desired reality. The quantum morning is also about observation. You begin to observe your thoughts without judging them. You notice how quickly your mind wants to return to old patterns of fear or doubt. But instead of reacting, you smile. You recognize the familiar emotions as echoes of the past. You let them pass through you like clouds, knowing that you are no longer the storm. This level of awareness rewires the brain. It breaks the neural connections that bind you to your old identity and strengthens those that support your new one. The more you practice this, the more you elevate your frequency. You begin to live in a state of creation, even when life gets noisy. When you enter your morning consciously, you begin to experience time differently. Minutes expand. Stillness deepens. You feel a sense of control that is not forced, but natural. You start noticing synchronicities, those subtle coincidences that confirm you are aligned with something greater. You realize that what used to feel like luck is actually alignment.